Yeah, I'm sorry. I just need to. Yeah, I think we are all set. So let's see how many people are online right now. I can see there are 3 attendees, so we can begin actually. So hi everyone, I'm your host Josim from the International Office at Jönköping University. Before we begin, some practical information. This session will be recorded, and later we would put a copy of this feed onto our JU web in next few days. Kindly ask your questions at the Q&A function on Zoom. We will answer all of the questions at the end of this webinar. Today, we will discuss and gain insight information on our bachelor's program in industrial engineering and management, a systematic approach to streamline and improve productivity and efficiency by introducing leaner, more efficient, and more profitable business practices while increasing customer service and quality. This program equips you with the knowledge and skills to tackle the complex issues that today's supply chain face and incorporate real-life issues regarding sustainability. I will say no more and invite our expert, our valued guest, Dr. Vanaja, for an interview where we will touch upon a lot of exciting questions. Thank you, Vanaja, for taking time out and appear for this.
Thank you for having me, Jasim.
So I have prepared really tough questions for you. No, just some questions. I think which might be quite interesting for our audience to get to know more. And as you know that this session is recorded, so which means that the copy of this will be saved later on, and hopefully many other inspiring students who would really want to join us could get inspired by this webinar and get help later on as well. So the first question goes like, which I've prepared is, please tell us about yourself, who you are, and what inspired you to really teach at the university.
My name is Vanaja Siva. So please just call me Vanaja. No need for formalities, no need for titles. It's just Vanaja. And I am from Malaysia originally. And I moved to Sweden in 2007 to do my master's and my PhD at Chalmers in Gothenburg. And right now I am an assistant professor at the School of Engineering at Jönköping University. So that is a very short description of who I am.
And the funny thing is, we have a common link there because I went to Gothenburg, to Chalmers as well. So that's interesting.
Yeah, we are both Chalmerians.
So, yeah, we are both Chalmerians, definitely. And so could you tell a bit about School of Engineering and what makes it unique, and tell us about the program you are responsible for?
Okay, absolutely. So the one thing that aspires me to teach and also to run this program that we call Sustainable Supply Chain Management is because I'm very passionate about the topic of sustainability. So I have discussed and done research on sustainability when it comes to product development and quality management and operations management in my PhD. So I do research regarding sustainability as well. And this program is about sustainability in the supply chain management. So that is very inspiring because that is where the world is headed. So you must, everyone must know that sustainability is not a new word anymore. And it is definitely not just a trend or a fashion. It has become the way of life, that the way we live life right now, because especially now with the, if you ask the millennials or Gen Z, they are all very, very concerned about where this world is heading because of climate change, global warming, and issues of running out of non-renewable resources, for example, because there's too much of consumption. We use too many things. And there's also overpopulation. Do you know, Jasim, that we just hit 8 billion people?
Yeah, I saw that. It's and I think maybe there are more people on planet Earth because these are, yeah.
Exactly. How do they know exactly how many people, right?
Yeah.
So I teach sustainability to my students, but we can do, perhaps we can do something about overconsumption and how to produce products more sustainably. I can't go around and tell people not to have children, so that part I cannot control. So I would like to do what I can.
Yeah, definitely.
For a better world, of course. So that is what this program is about.
Oh, wonderful. I mean, we have a word, management. I think you have explained a bit about it right now, but why is the title? I mean, because I quite often get this question that people study industrial engineering and then they say, oh, and management, what is and management in this? And what do we mean by specialization in sustainable supply chain management? I know that you have touched upon a bit of it, but maybe if you could go a little bit deeper into this, that would be nice.
Of course, absolutely. I'll do that. So do not look at the word management separately. The word management here does not mean anything if it is not attached to the words supply chain. So we are trying to manage the supply chain.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that is what supply chain management is. So the first time supply chain management came about, it was called SCM, which stands for supply chain management. And now, since we started talking about sustainability, it has evolved into a new term called SSCM, which is sustainable supply chain management. So supply chain management is, the simplest way to put this is, no man is an island, no woman is an island, I should say. Because that is a very old saying. I'm also very old. So that's a very old saying. No woman is an island, which means no one is alone. None of us is alone. So the same thing applies to companies as well. No one can operate alone. Any company whatsoever, no matter what product, what service you manufacture, you develop, and you sell, you must have a supplier, you must have a customer. You cannot exist without them, without any of this. If you have one customer and one supplier, fine. We are not worried about you. You can manage. But imagine having 100 suppliers and 1,000 customers. That is what supply chain is. So what we are trying to do is, in supply chain management, we teach about how to manage your supply chain. So that's what the word management here means. And the additional word of sustainability tells you how to manage your supply chain in a sustainable way.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, good.
Do we have any facts or figures as what kind of demand is there to finding professionals in this niche?
Absolutely. In order to answer that question, I have to tell you the kind of courses that we have in this program. So it's a 3-year program. It's a bachelor's program. You get a Bachelor of Science in Industrial Engineering and Management with a specialization in sustainable supply chain management. So, Jasim, I have to tell you that we don't simply come up with names for our programs. We do a lot of research. We do a lot of benchmarking. We check around the world. We get in touch with industry, current industry, what are the demands that they're looking for in future students. And then we name our programs. So the reason we named it Sustainable Supply Chain Management is because that is the trend these days. So that is the pull factor. That is the attractiveness selling point for the program. So that's because that is the demand that we have in the market right now. So in order to meet this demand, this is a 3-year bachelor's program. Keep in mind, it's a bachelor's program. In a bachelor's program, you learn about a concept or an idea in a very generic way. If you want to learn a bit more about that same concept or an idea, then you do your master's, which is 2 years. Then you go into that particular topic. And then if you really want to specialize in one topic, you do your PhD. So that's how education system works. So this is my bachelor's program, and therefore it's very general. So you learn about a lot of things within the supply chain management topic in a very general manner.
And you build your interest.
Exactly. Then you can focus on one of those topics and then specialize in them in your master's or your PhD. Or you can take all of this general knowledge that you have about different topics in supply chain management and go become an engineer somewhere.
Yeah.
Or a manager or an engineer and or a coordinator, for example, and then try to work with all of those things based on this knowledge that you have. This program is 3 years long, and we have 2 study terms each year. And in each study term, we have 4 courses that you have to take. And at the same time, you will be taking 2 courses. And each of these courses is only 7.5 credits, because the whole program is 180 credits. So in 7.5 credits, we have about 7 weeks of class and 1 week of exam. So in that 7 weeks, we cannot teach you everything, but we can teach you definitely the basics of that topic. So for example, we have 1 course on logistics, 1 course on transportation, 1 course on warehousing, 1 course on purchasing, another course on retailing, another course on managing sustainability in supply chain, another course in quality management. And I must say we have 3 courses in maths.
Okay. But by the way, all of the courses look quite interesting, actually. I mean, the names are, they hit you immediately that, they make you think that you could really satisfy the needs for the industry, and you don't feel afraid of beginning at the industry, especially if you have studied these courses.
Exactly. So all these courses, because we have students in this bachelor's program who come directly from high school, directly. So they are 18 years old. I have 18-year-olds in my class. I also have 35-year-olds in my class.
Okay.
And I have national students, Swedish students, and I have international students. So they come from everywhere, and they're from different age, and they are in all kinds of colors and shapes and sizes and everything. So we have to model this program to fit everybody, to give them the basic knowledge about these different topics. So it's a very easy way to understand what supply chain is in general, and also a very quick way to understand how you can contribute to sustainability.
Wonderful. Just a comment. I mean, what you said, that we have people from all different places. We have 70 different nationalities which are being represented on our campus. So guys, if you really are looking for an international experience along with your education, this is a place, definitely.
Yes.
So my follow-up question would be, how closely is this program designed with industry need, and what is the balance of research and application? I know, again, we touched upon a little bit of this, but it would be nice just to focus on the answer on this.
Okay. A few things here. How do we meet industrial demands? That was the question, right?
Yeah.
So we have 2 meetings in a year. We call it the industrial committee, and we actually meet different representatives from different companies. Some of those top names, and also people who work with us a lot within the region of Jönköping. There's a lot of companies, small and medium-sized companies in this region. So that is why we take a lot of pride in saying that we work very closely with industries. So we have meetings with them to talk about our program specifically. And I've been in this meeting every single time in the past 3 years that I've been the program manager. And we actually talk to the industry representatives. They are engineers, planners, coordinators, managers, and ask them, how do you find our students? Because our students go to them for internship. Our students go to them for their thesis. And a lot of these courses have projects that they have to do, and the students have to go to these industries to work with them. So we have internship course, which is like 7 weeks of working in one of these companies, which is in the 4th semester, 2nd year.
Yeah.
And therefore, the reason we have the internship course is because we want our students to apply everything they have learned in the first 2 years in real life setting. We want to give them that experience because, when you are 18 years old and 20 years old, you're sitting in a classroom and you're learning about all these concepts. You have this idealistic view of the world, and that is not the truth.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, you have to understand how it works in reality. Whatever that we read from research and the books, it, unfortunately, does not apply in real life exactly like that.
And
So
my logic is also that for instance, if you're becoming a doctor, the medical doctor, you also have to apply your knowledge to be able to become a doctor. So why not when you're becoming an engineer or a business person, then you need to also apply that knowledge to be able to get certification that you are now good enough to get into the industry.
exactly. That is why the internship is really, really important. And it
Yeah.
also gives the students an experience of working in a Swedish company, for example. And we have a lot of discussions. We have one particular course that is extremely important, and that course is called International and Intercultural Relationship. And it's a very popular course. All my students love that course extremely. He's one of their favorite teachers because the teacher is awesome. And because also the topic is very interesting. You know, he talks about intercultural relationships and how people from different culture work together. So they actually get to practice their communication skill, their presentation skill, their relationship skills based on where they come from with their own culture and perception, and how they can integrate that into the Swedish culture. When you're working with Swedish people, the language difference and the work attitude, the ethics, everything is different when you come from another country. So it actually gives them an opportunity to learn about that before they can decide if they want to work here.
It's interesting what you're saying about internships, but do we also have like other than this, are our students working on real projects while they're studying other kind of courses?
Yes, absolutely. We have, for example, we have guest lectures from industry. So when I teach a tool, for example, if I teach a tool in quality management, I teach the quality management course. And when I teach them how to apply a tool, I can, of course, give them step by step how to use this tool. And then I can give them 1 or 2 examples. And then I can ask them to apply the tool in the classroom. We do that.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
is it more like a simulation?
No, it's not a simulation. Like, for example, a quality management tool.
Okay.
So one of the tools is called failure mode and effect analysis. So you look at the process and then you try to identify what can go wrong in this step, for example, in order to avoid that thing from going wrong. So what I do is I show them a video and then I ask them to do the exercise. Write down the steps, try to identify what can go wrong by watching a video, and then try to identify what can you do to fix it. For example, it's a very popular tool. Every company uses it. So then I will ask one of my industry contacts to come and talk to them about how they actually apply that tool in
really
real life.
Interesting. Yeah, really interesting.
Yes.
So, but do we also have simulations, I mean, built in?
We have a course called Simulation in Industrial Engineering, and we have started running it for the SSCM only started in 2016. So it's actually a baby. It's a very new program that we have, and it's been quite successful actually. And we have modified these courses a little bit from 2016 until now. So for the past 2 years, it has been quite stable. We haven't made much changes because everything is working as it should. And we have introduced this new course called Simulation in Industrial Engineering. And we have someone, one of the professors, teachers coming from Jönköping University, and he is teaching that course here. Yeah. And it is based on a software called Arena. And each of the students will get a license for this software in our computer lab. And they go to the computer lab and they use the Arena program in order to create the simulation.
Interesting, really interesting. So the interesting, and also what is interesting is my follow-up question was about teaching pedagogy and how practical is this program designed. So it looks like the practicality around the program is quite high. I mean, simulations, internships, real projects. What else you could wish for?
That's the hope.
Yeah. It's really interesting. Do we have any facts or figures as what kind of demand is there to finding professionals in this niche?
Yes, we do. we have created, we do have at Jönköping University a group called Alumni. So everyone who has graduated from all the different schools, we have a database where we collect all the information about what they're doing right now and everything. So we have recently started that for the SSCM program. As I said, the SSCM program is quite new. And we have started that recently. And I have a Facebook page, I believe, that the students are there for the SSCM students. And they are all over the place. That's the one thing that I can say. They are all over the place. They are in big companies like Volvo and IKEA, for example. And some of them are in really small companies, SMEs of 50 employees, for example. DHL is one. Arla is another. So we have different companies in this area as well. And it also depends if you are going to stay in Jönköping. Most of these students, we do have students from Jönköping and they come here to study. But as you know, Jönköping is a small city, small to me, but not so small in the Swedish standard, but it is still small. So a lot of these students, because they are also very young, they move to places like Gothenburg, Malmö, or Stockholm. When they look for jobs where they have more options.
My follow-up question is also connected with this. I mean, how well prepared are our students, for instance, if they begin to work in the industry, and they are asked to provide their input for an ongoing supply chain issues, or asked to design a solution for the firm? Will our students be capable enough of doing that?
Yes, and that is why we have the bachelor's thesis. The bachelor thesis happens in the final semester of the program. And in the bachelor thesis, usually all of them, you work in pairs. So there are 2 students per thesis, and you go out and you find a problem to solve in the companies. The problem could be in transportation, in logistics, in warehousing, quality problems, sustainability, doesn't matter. We also require all the students to discuss sustainability aspects in their thesis. Even if the company doesn't know anything about sustainability, we want the students to teach them through their thesis so that they will start thinking about it. So even before they leave the program, even before they graduate, they're already solving a problem for the companies. So that actually gives them the knowledge and also the confidence when they start their job to go in and say that I have done this before, I have solved this problem before, and I know how this works. I have the tools, I can start applying it, of course. So, I mean, everybody has to learn from somewhere. Everybody has to start from somewhere. I didn't know all this when I was 24.
Definitely. But the good thing is that the education is giving you that confidence where you can actually go in the industry and say, hey, you know what, I can do this.
Yes, absolutely. I have the tools, and I have the basic tools from that I can use in all these different areas, because I took the entire program for 3 years. And now I can become a warehouse coordinator or, transportation manager, for example. And then I can focus on how do I design my warehouse in order to be more efficient, in order to utilize the space properly, in order to be sustainable with the consumption of electricity, consumptions of water, and that kind of stuff. So they already know the basics of this stuff. And when you go into a workspace, you would relearn all the things that you have learned in the program, because now you have a context. Before, in the classroom, it's just theory, right? And then when you start your work, you have a specific context that you must apply this knowledge in.
I hear a lot of exciting things about field visits and students encouraged to attend conferences, seminars, workshops, which are organized in cooperation with student associations, not to forget Science Park. How do you think they help? And could you also perhaps give a couple of examples around this?
Of course. student life is extremely exciting in Jönköping. That's what I hear. I do not know. I didn't study here, and I do not join the student activities. Don't worry. But student life is extremely exciting. Apparently, that's one of the best things about living in Jönköping, because the student life is very diverse and they do a lot of things. So in that sense, the high-tech communication, which is the student association, they have a lot of different groups or clubs that the students can join. Some of them are fun, some of them are about traveling, some of them is about building your own business. And this is where Science Park comes in. So if you have an idea about starting a new business, Science Park is there to help you with starting your own company and, having the space to work on your idea. And also I have had students, my program students, who has worked on specific projects in a competition, student competition. There's a lot of competitions in the School of Engineering and also in the business school. So just because you're studying in the School of Engineering, it doesn't mean you're confined to the School of Engineering. I have my students working with students from the business school, where they also teach supply chain management.
And entrepreneurship should be like that.
Entrepreneurship, exactly. Business administration and entrepreneurship. So my students use their knowledge of supply chain management, and they use their knowledge of entrepreneurship, and they combine it together, and they have participated in competitions where they have actually won prizes and money and stuff like that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's a great tag team scenario, actually.
Yes.
And lastly, I know that you have also touched upon this, a little bit of it. We have a great community of alumni who have achieved high goals and set great examples. For JU, could you give some examples, exciting examples of our alumni? How can this network help our potential students? Because why I'm looking for this is kind of because when you're buying a normal product, which are tangible products, then you kind of see the reviews of the products and then you go in and you normally buy that product. But education is intangible. I mean, you can't really measure. Everyone at the fair or different places would say, hey, we are the best. But how do you really see if you're really the best? Because one of the very strong benchmarking one could look at is look at the alumni, what they're doing right now. So that could be an inspiring story for everyone to really see, hey, if I do this, I can also become that.
Yes, definitely. Let me just note for the record, I never said we are the best. I was just explaining what we do here.
Maybe I'm the marketing guy, so
that is your words, not mine. Okay. We have, as I said, we have a lot of activities that we do here. For example, one of the activities that I was a part of that just happened like 2 weeks ago is called Vera Dagen. Vera Dagen is Vera Day. Vera was the first ever female engineer in Sweden. And this was in 1912. Oh God, I should remember that. Yeah, this was a long time ago, about 100 years ago. And every year we celebrate Vera Day. Vera is her name, Vera Day, in order to promote engineering programs, especially sustainable supply chain management, to female students. Because there is, when it comes to the STEM field, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, we have a lack of female participation. So in order to create equal education and gender equality, to comply to the Sustainable Development Goals, we try to promote education to everybody in an equal manner, of course. So that is happening. We have increased, every year we have more and more girls who are joining our programs, our educational programs in the engineering school, which is great news, of course. And during the Vera Dagen, we actually had a few women come in and speak to us and speak to the students and the staff about their accomplishment. And one of them happened to be the Alumni of the Year from
Okay.
JTH. Yeah. So she has a very successful business and she had a very good presentation. And she was one of the speakers who came back and talked to us about what she has been doing since she graduated from here. So that was really interesting to meet her. And also, I always tell my students, especially when we do a project in the classroom, I always tell them that please leave me your email address when you graduate. And I tell them this in their graduation speech as well. Make sure that I can contact you, because I will contact you and you will have to come back and give a guest lecture to my current students about this same project that you have done when you were here, for example. So we always have the students coming back to talk to the new students about what they have done while they were taking this program, for example. So these are some of the things that we do with alumni. And in that sense, we also keep track and collect data so that we have a record of what kind of jobs our students can do in the future. So as you know very well, Jasim, some of the babies who are born today, the jobs that they are going to do in 20 years, we haven't even started teaching them yet. So that is how fast technology is moving right now.
Definitely. Yeah? It's evolving much faster than our imagination.
Exactly. We have to struggle to keep up with the technology. So we are trying to understand what our students do, but also when they start the program and when they start their job, there's a 3 years gap in that time.
I'll tell you a very interesting scenario around this. And I don't know if you would know about this or not, but I did some research and I realized that this is the fourth industry revolution we are in. And so when you look at how the transition happened from the first to the second, second to the third, and third to fourth, you will see that the history will show you that 100 years approximately it took from first to the second, and it took another 100 years from second to third. Yes. And guess how many years it took from third to fourth? It only took less than 50 years to do that. And that's scary because in those 100 years, you get enough time to really maybe transition, yourself with the time and change yourself. But if you only have 50 or 40, 50 years, then you don't have enough time. And it means that in your lifetime, you will be seeing maybe some couple of other revolutions coming in. So that's how fast you're moving.
Yes. Exactly. And we have to, at universities, higher education institutions, that is a challenge that we all face, not just the students, but also the teachers, on how we teach them and what we teach them in order to be relevant in the current state of the art of everything that's happening around them. So it is important for us to understand how useful our program is for our students and how applicable these skills are in the future, at least 3 years in the future.
Thank you so much, Vanaja, for coming in today and appearing for this interview. I think this was very helpful, and I really hope that our students would have enjoyed it. And we will, as I said, going to share this video later on our web and also on the YouTube channel. So you will be able to watch it later on as well. So now we can open the house for Q&A session. Let's see if I can see any questions written up. I don't know if I can see any questions. So no questions so far. It means that our our webinar was crystal clear. Any questions, guys? I see Anna. I see Githan, Jali, Kesh, Reha, Zainab. Please let me know. If you have any questions. So yeah, Well, it was pretty informing. I just would like to thank both of you. Thank you very much, Reha.
Yes, that was really nice. Thank you, Reha.
So, thank you very much, everyone. I think it's very clear as it looks like. So, thank you for joining in, and thank you, Vanaja, for coming in. And don't forget to watch this later on as well. We'll put the copy on the web and also on our JU YouTube channel in next few days. Thank you very much, everyone. All the best, and see you at JU. Bye-bye.
Bye.